we have the greatest economy right now. A lot of people don't see that. But if you look at what's happening with all the factories, AI, auto plants all over the country being built, that if you would have thought about that 2 or 3 years ago, you would have said it was the opposite. They were all leaving. Now they're all coming in. They're all coming back and then some. And I think that we can honestly say, and I think you're going to see it even more so over the next 12 months, that this is the golden age of America. This is the golden age.
Everything so damn expensive.
I have 4 kids and I'm working 3 jobs and I'm still struggling.
You're struggling because prices have gone up tremendously, but the wages haven't.
You work and you work and you work and you work and you work.
Are we all having spaghetti for Thanksgiving? Because that's what I'm having.
Here living the American dream, but I can tell you one person who isn't. I have 4 kids and I'm working 3 jobs and I'm still struggling. I should not have to be working my life away, being away from my kids. You know, sometimes I have to pick. Am I going to pay my electric bill or am I going to buy groceries? Because my kids need to eat. I'm so tired of struggling. You know, so many people are going to working multiple jobs just to pay for a house.
Americans cannot afford to live at all, okay? I just had a conversation with some co-workers and they told me that some of their family members are actually living in their cars, right? They shower at the gym and they just sleep in their cars to save money and all that stuff because the rent is way too high. Because even people that are 6-figure earners, depending on where you live, they are struggling like crazy. But check this out. These are Americans living in their cars, yo.
Making brekkie in a grocery store parking lot.
We've been living in our car for 37 days. It's been very hard.
I shared yesterday that I've moved into my Subaru because I refuse to sign another lease and give tens of thousands of dollars to millionaire property management companies that I
Spent $600 on brakes on my car, just on the front part of the car because I couldn't afford all 4. And then now I just paid my car payment, which is $500. So I just blew $1,100 in like 3 hours. And it wasn't even like fun, you know? Sorry, it's just so overwhelming. Like, you work and 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 you work, and it's just to pay off like your basic necessities.
5% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck today. If you're looking around wondering what's going on because the market's up, just remember, the stock market is not the economy. Credit card debt just hit $1.3 trillion. Delinquency, the highest since the end of the Great Recession. And everyone's emergency fund, well, those have been empty for a long time. So if you're wondering how's the market booming while working families are drowning, the system is designed to float on struggling backs until they finally break.
Paycheck to paycheck are about to go broke. The GDP numbers came in yesterday, and of course the economy receded. People who've been financing groceries on credit are starting to default on those payments. If you're in this 60% that has little or no money, please stop spending money. Please protect yourself.
Oh. I did not want to come on this app and just cry. But if I want to be encouraging to others, I have to also let you know that sometimes you do break. And you may not break down. I try to push others to have faith in God and push through. I didn't cry when the train stopped us from getting to therapy this morning. I didn't cry when they asked for a copay. I didn't cry until I watched a TikTok of someone who was a federal worker just like me. And a mama just like me. she was saying, today's the day before Halloween. And that just so happens to be my daughter's favorite holiday. And this morning she was looking on Amazon trying to use her money to buy a costume.
Far left, it is Trump supporters. Further, at a time of massive income and wealth inequality, the American people do not want to see the billionaire class receive $1 trillion in new tax breaks for the 1%. So let me be clear. I know this is a radical thought, but the truth is Elon Musk, the richest man alive, worth some $500 billion, man who owns more wealth than the bottom 52% of American households. You know what? I don't think he needs a tax break. Now, around here, that's a radical statement. Nor does Mr. Bezos, nor does Mr. Zuckerberg, nor does Mr. Ellison, nor do anyone in the top 1% who today are doing phenomenally well. It is time that we started worrying about the working families of this country, people who cannot afford health care, who can't afford to pay rent or mortgage, cost of housing outrageously high, who can't afford child care, can't afford to send their kids to college, who can't afford to buy decent quality food at the grocery store. Those are the people that we should be worrying about, not tax breaks for Mr. Musk and the other billionaires in this country. So, Mr. President, let me be very clear in telling you what I will not be doing. I will not vote for a budget that throws 15 million Americans off the health care that they have. I will not be voting for a budget that doubles premiums for 20 million Americans. I will not be voting for a budget that decimates rural hospitals, nursing homes, and community health centers. I will not be voting for a budget that causes over 50,000 Americans to die unnecessarily every year. I will not be voting for a budget that provides $1 trillion in tax breaks to the top 1%.